My landlord stuck a tracker on my car without my knowledge. It was a calm evening when my partner and I decided to check the spare tire of my car. Little did we know that simple task would unravel a disturbing mystery. As we were unmounting the tire from the bottom of the car, my partner's hand brushed against something cold and metallic. Curious, we looked closer and found a small, circular magnetic device attached to the lip of the bumper. At first, we were baffled. What could this be? A quick search using Google Lens revealed it was a land-air-sea tracking device. The realization hit us like a ton of bricks. My heart raced, my mind flashing back to November of last year when I was stalked and attacked by an ex. Could this be his doing? Without hesitation, we filed a police report, hoping to unearth the identity of the tracker's owner. To our astonishment, the police discovered that the device had been purchased by our landlord of 3 years. This was a man who had seemed genuinely kind-hearted, a family man who had even helped us install floodlights and curtains after the attack. The idea that he had been tracking our location periodically, with the device still live when we found it, was a huge shock. I couldn't shake the feeling of betrayal. This man, who had appeared so trustworthy, had invaded our privacy in the most insidious way. The police had tried contacting him, but so far, he hadn't returned their calls. It had only been a day, but the uncertainty was eating away at us. Feeling unsafe in our own home was bad enough, but this breach of trust was another blow. Our rapport with him had seemed good. He was someone we thought we could rely on. Now, we were left questioning everything. What would become of our housing situation? Living in Oregon, I knew there could be a case made in criminal court, but I also wondered if we could sue him for this violation. Sorry if this seems scattered. I just found all this out today, and I'm still processing. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Commentary. The first commenter suggested, better check the house for cameras. He may have been making sure you weren't home, so he could go in and do some more shady stuff. This thought was echoed by another who added, it's not a big leap for him to install cameras in the apartment. Be very thorough. Check vents, outlet covers, especially in the bedroom and bathroom. Change your Wi-Fi, computer, and other device passwords. You might even use your cell phone camera to detect the IR light from hidden cameras. In conclusion, it's best to terminate the lease and find a new place. Many other comments agreed, emphasizing the importance of ensuring your privacy and safety. It's been a year, and I still can't believe how much has happened during this time. So many events, you could write a novel about them. But writing isn't my strong suit, so I apologize for the brevity of this update. As some commentators guessed, it was my ex who attacked and assaulted me in November 2022 and attached a GPS tracker to my car. My ex used Reddit a lot, so I had to wait for the right moment to share these updates. Yes, it's the same ex I hadn't spoken to in over 8 years. He was caught, and his behavior after being caught was absolutely unhinged. The day after the cop showed me that the GPS tracker was registered under my landlord's name, it became clear that my ex had used his identity to cover his tracks. He almost got away with it by listing my landlord's name and address when registering the tracker. The cop went to my landlord's house and questioned him. Of course, my landlord had nothing to hide, so he answered all the questions and allowed them to search his wallet and phone. They found no evidence of his involvement, and that's when the real investigation began. The tracker was linked to a track phone that my ex must have been using as a burner phone. He used prepaid Visa cards without any name or data to pay for the tracker services. The cop investigating the case took every possible step to catch him. They set up a mini operation involving a female officer who called the track phone pretending to want to meet. The recording of the call was used as evidence, but they wanted to catch him in person. Eventually, my ex realized it was a trap and stopped responding. However, the cop got voice verification from me, and another person that it was his voice. My ex was arrested for identity theft and illegally attaching a GPS tracker to my car, both of which can be considered felonies. I had a protective order, which complicated the arrest and indictment process. When my ex realized he was in trouble, he checked himself into a mental hospital to avoid arrest, causing a lot of paperwork for the district attorney's office. Eventually, he was indicted on both counts, and I awaited the trial. But the story didn't end there. 2 months after the indictment, I saw him outside my house. We were returning from a date and took a different route because we saw some ducks and decided to detour. As we approached our house, I saw him. He was walking down the street and wasn't trying to hide. At first, I thought I was seeing things, but he was clearly there, despite a no-contact order requiring him to stay 500 feet away from my home and car. When he noticed us, he turned his back and pretended to look at something. I told my partner to stop the car, and my ex started walking quickly in the opposite direction. We circled around to make sure it was him, but he had already disappeared into the bushes. We slowly drove down the street, looking for him, and suddenly he popped out of the bushes 10 feet ahead, made eye contact with us, and then started running. We followed and managed to take a couple of blurry photos, but probably not enough to confirm his identity. I filed a police report and spoke to his probation officer, who ordered him to wear a GPS bracelet pending investigation. The cop who helped me with the GPS tracker and assault case went door to door to gather video evidence from neighbors. Some didn't answer, others had nothing, but the house with the bushes had a clear picture and video of him hiding in their bushes. Now he's in jail, facing multiple charges. I want to thank everyone who gave me advice and showed genuine concern. Special thanks to the cop who helped me from the beginning. Now I feel safe and can move on.